Welcome back to the Knight Gambit TV. Today we're looking at a short but extremely instructive Sicilian defense trap. This game lasted only 7 moves, yet it contains several important opening principles, tactical ideas, and a powerful lesson about development and central control. The players are McInnes with white and Lenneret with black, played in Denmark in 2003. The opening is the Sicilian Defense O'Kelly Variation. At first glance, White's position seems completely normal, but one inaccurate decision allows Black to seize the initiative immediately, and White resigns after only 7 moves. Let's break down every move carefully and understand exactly why this happened. Move 1. 1e4. White begins with the most popular opening move in chess. This move controls the important d5 and f5 squares, opens lines for the queen and bishop, and immediately fights for the center. White is announcing aggressive intentions from the very start. 1c5. Black responds with the Sicilian defense. Instead of mirroring White with 1e5, Black attacks the center from the side. This move creates an imbalance immediately. The Sicilian is famous because Black is not simply trying to equalize. Black often plays for a win. The c-pawn challenges White's central influence and prepares queenside counterplay. Move 2. Knight f3. A natural developing move. White attacks the e5 square and prepares the central pawn break d4. The knight also supports rapid kingside development. Everything is perfectly standard. 2a6. Here comes the O'Kelly variation. Many players are surprised by this move. Why play a pawn move so early? The idea is flexible. Black prepares b5 expansion and also waits to see how White develops before committing. Additionally, Black can sometimes discourage certain anti-Sicilian systems. Although it looks slow, it contains hidden strategic ideas. Move 3. 3d4. White strikes in the center immediately. This is the most principled reaction. White wants open lines and active piece play. The move challenges Black's c5 pawn and aims for central dominance. 3. C takes d4. Black accepts the challenge. The c-pawn exchanges itself for White's d-pawn. This is standard Sicilian strategy. Black gives White a central pawn, but gains an extra central pawn majority later and creates asymmetrical positions. Move 4. Knight takes d4. White recaptures with the knight. This is the most active square for the knight. From d4, the knight controls many important central and kingside squares. White has developed a piece and maintained central influence. So far, everything remains theory. 4. Knight f6. Black develops naturally. The knight attacks the e4 pawn immediately. This forces White to address the threat. Development with tempo is always valuable in chess. Black is following a fundamental principle. Develop pieces while creating threats. Move 5. Bishop d3. This move looks logical. White protects the e4 pawn and develops a bishop. However, this move contains a hidden drawback. The bishop occupies a square that can become vulnerable after Black's central expansion. Also, in many Sicilian positions, White prefers more active squares such as c4 or e2. The move isn't a blunder, but it gives Black an important opportunity. 5e5. An energetic central strike. This move is the key idea. Black immediately questions the knight on d4. Notice Black's strategy. Instead of passively defending, Black attacks the center directly. The pawn on e5 gains space and drives White's knight away. This is a common Sicilian theme. Whenever a knight sits on d4, Black often seeks ways to challenge it with e5. Move 6. Knight f3. The knight retreats. White has little choice. The knight cannot remain on d4 because Black's e-pawn attacks it. The retreat keeps the position solid. However, Black has already achieved something important. The knight has moved twice in the opening. Meanwhile, Black has gained space and strengthened central control. This is a small but meaningful victory for Black. 6d5. Now comes the strongest move of the game. This is the move that transforms Black's position from good to powerful. Black strikes directly in the center. Notice how well Black's pieces coordinate. The knight supports the center. The e5 pawn controls key squares. The queen and bishop are ready to become active. The move, d5, is possible because black's position is already harmoniously arranged. This is a classic Sicilian idea. When black successfully achieves d5, equality is often reached immediately, and sometimes black even gains the initiative. Move 7. c3. This move is the critical mistake. White wants to support the center and perhaps prepare future development. But the move ignores the immediate tactical reality. Whenever your opponent attacks the center, you must calculate carefully before making a quiet move. White underestimates black's tactical possibilities. 7. D takes e4. A simple move, but a devastating one. Black captures the pawn on e4. At first, this looks like an ordinary pawn capture. But look deeper. The bishop on d3 is suddenly attacked. White's center collapses. Black wins material and gains the initiative. The key point is that white's pieces are awkwardly placed and cannot recover efficiently. The bishop on d3 becomes vulnerable, and black's active central pawns create enormous pressure. White realized that black's position was already strategically and tactically superior. Rather than continue in a losing position, white resigned. Key lessons from this game. Lesson 1. Development must be efficient. White moved the knight twice. Nf3, nd4, nf3. Meanwhile, black gained space and improved central control. In the opening, every tempo matters. Lesson 2. Fight for the center. Black's moves, e5 and d5, were the stars of the game. These central pawn breaks transformed black's position from passive to active. Strong players constantly look for opportunities to challenge the center. Lesson 3. Don't ignore immediate threats. The move 7.c3 looked natural but failed tactically. Before making any move, always ask, what is my opponent threatening right now? This simple question prevents many opening disasters. Lesson 4. Active play beats passive defense. Black never sat back and defended. Instead, challenged the knight with e5. Open the center with d5. Won material with d takes e4. This is an excellent example of energetic Sicilian play. Conclusion. In only 7 moves, Linaret demonstrated a powerful Sicilian lesson. Control the center, develop with purpose, and strike when the opportunity appears. White's setup looked safe, but black's energetic pawn breaks completely changed the position and exposed the weaknesses in white's development. This is why the Sicilian defense remains one of the most feared and respected openings in chess. If you enjoyed this opening trap analysis, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for the Knight Gambit TV. And remember, in chess, one quiet-looking move can hide a powerful tactical punch. See you in the next video. If you interest this video, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Okay, thanks.